Hi, in this video we'll take a look at the WebImageViewer, just a quick overview of how you can set it up and how you can use it within your application. So to begin with, I'm going to create a new website. So I'm going to say new website, and I prefer using C#, even though we're not going to be writing a lot of code in this application. I'm going to call it Image Viewer Demo, and it will create my project. So I have everything. Let me move over to design view and drop the web image viewer control in my form. Once I have that, the web image viewer lets you basically create a thumbnails for your images that you can slide across using the next and previous buttons. And you can even customize how you want to basically let the user navigate within your images. And it loads everything on demand. So even if you're showing more images that the viewer can fit in, it will not pre-populate all your images on the client. It will wait until that image gets in view and makes a request on the fly. Now, WebImageViewer is based on our Keto framework, so it requires the script manager on the page. We'll drop that. And just quickly go over some of the properties that are supported by the control. Is basically the orientation that you can set. You can even use as a data bound control. Here in this case, we will just add items to the control. Enable drag scrolling, so the mouse can be dragged and the image will scroll. It's set to true right now. You can disable them. Image item binding, so depending on the data source fields that you're pulling in, how you want to bind those fields to the actual items within the web image viewer, you can set that up here. And next button, previous button, how you want to customize that. Orientation, horizontal, vertical, and the other basically web control properties, width and height and tooltips and wrapping around. So we want to basically add items to the control. We can use the edit items collection editor, which I can also access using the smart tag. Before I do that, I want to basically bring in the images that I want to show in my control. So I know the images that I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder called images. And I am going to drag and drop these images in the images folder because these are the images that I want to use in my image viewer. Come here and drag and drop real quick. And I basically can go ahead into edit items, add an item, and I want to set tooltip text. I'm going to set image 1. I want to appear this as selected, and I want to set the image URL to images /image1.jpg. It's a JPEG image. Apply. Okay, now I have 10 images I can create using the add item dialog. But to speed things up for the demo, I have pre-written the markup. So I'm going to basically copy and paste the markup in my HTML here. And it's a pretty easy to read HTML that it generates markup. So you can use the markup if you want to use for setting up the control. Align it a bit. Okay, so the image is all set. I'm going to hit design view and I'm going to run the application. I'm going to use enable debugging. And now I have the image viewer control with all the images being pulled in, and you can see that fade out. I can use the drag scrolling feature that I have enabled. I can use the next and previous button, and I can just scroll through images. So it won't stop when it reaches the end. It would continue scrolling the images. Now I want to take this step for this application step further and enable when I click on an image on the client side. I want to do something. So I'm going to go to my toolbox and I'm going to drop a image HTML control. Okay, I'm going to drop the image. I'm going to resize it. Now, anytime I click on an image that's inside of image viewer, I basically want to update the image that's displayed underneath that. To do that, I need to handle client-side events. So the control alpha controls come with pretty flexible client server API that you can use to customize your application. So I'm going to select my image viewer here, and I'm going to say client-side events, image click. I'm going to call it image clicked. So that this event fires whenever the image is clicked. I'm going to copy it, and it's a standard parameters that all of these JavaScript functions take. So there's a sender and an event arc. So it's easier for you to remember on what parameters that a function takes, so that you can write code easily. Type text JavaScript, and I'm going to say function image clicked, sender, and E as event arcs. Now I've written some pre-existing code here, which is 2-line, not too much, and pretty easy to understand. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically getting the image element that's on my page that's empty, and whenever an item is clicked, I want to get that element and then set the source of that image to the item's image URL. So I can use the event arcs here to get the item that's been selected and then get the image URL. Run design view and run the application. And now when I select an image, the image gets selected, and I get the image URL being updated in my image control at the bottom. So again, very flexible. You can do a lot more than what your application requirements are. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.